When it comes to what's happening in Wayne County and the North Carolina area, look no further than Taylor House Publishing. If you have a story that needs to be told, please contact us via email at taylorhousepublishing@gmail.com.
So what's going on, ladies and gentlemen? Richard Taylor here, back with another Taylor House video. I want y'all to watch this video and see this behavior. I'm going to play it for you right now, but then I'm going to go back over it and break it down. But just watch this behavior that is exhibited towards a parent, her mother and her grandmother, as well as myself and another advocate who came to support her during a school meeting with the superintendent, Mr. Whichard. Just watch this video. Y'all tell me what y'all think.
I know, I trust you on everything, but where I'm working.
Excuse me, good morning. So, when they meet, there can't be another meeting which the family knows what's going on. I
believe this meeting will resolve it.
Put it in, don't write a whole big story, just write it down, and then it'll be okay, right?
And you said that
You'll get a response.
It's up to you what you want to do.
And Dr. Smith is here as well. Okay, all right, we do it like that, okay? And then see.
My meeting,
Okay, and that's.
So I can't get my
You'll be good to go. Like I said, you're not gonna get a letter until.
Yeah.
if anything, if you go out there and anything that you like.
I would record everything if I were you. If you're going alone, I would record.
that's twice I'm gonna ask you to be quiet. We won't get
Well,
her.
I'm not allowed to speak to the parent.
You'd ask her to step out, please. That's the third time.
I'm being asked to leave because
Yes.
I advised the parent to record this
Ma'am.
meeting.
Thank
Thank
you
you.
so
I appreciate you denying her her rights and denying me my rights to help her.
What's your name?
military.
We'll be right down this hall.
Yeah, that's fine.
Yeah, I appreciate it. Mr. Taylor, I'd like you to sit down as well, please.
Sit down.
Yes, sir.
Okay. You're welcome.
So there you see the video of Miss Kiara Gaddy, her mother and her grandmother, as well as myself who's recording, and an advocate, Miss Rachel Radford, who you seen Dr. Whichard get escorted out when she was trying to give the parent some advice. Now, just a little backstory. Before I started recording, the parents of this child, and I'll tell you the story about the child, the parent, the mother of the parent, and the grandmother of the parent were about to go in this meeting. Dr. Whichard stopped them and said, well, no, nobody else can go, only the parent. And the grandmother, as you seen, expressing her concerns about why. We want to know what's going on. The mother also said why, and Dr. Whichard was like, well, the meeting was set up for Miss Gaddy and Miss Gillespie. If she don't want to do this meeting with those two, then it's her choice. But there will not be another meeting. Basically, he was telling her, look, if you don't take this meeting now, you won't get another meeting. And then Miss Gillespie chimes in, yeah, well, Dr. Smith is in there too. And so Dr. Smith is the principal at Carver Heights School. Now, Miss Gaddy has already been given the runaround with these people for about 3 or 4 weeks now. So she calls her family in for support, as well as myself, which is her right as a parent to have someone support her at these meetings. So how did we get here today? And I want to break down once again Dr. Whichard's behavior. As you see in the video, he's going to tell me to sit down. Like, I'm not doing anything. I didn't say anything, but he's going to tell me to sit down. I'm going to tell you about that later. Nevertheless, if you've been watching this channel about, 2 or 3 weeks ago, I did a story about a child, a 5th grader, who is in Carver Heights Elementary. with whom a lunchroom worker was doing suspicious behavior, having his phone out, making it feel to the child as if he's recording her, also looking at her in an inappropriate manner. Now, Miss Gaddy brought the situation to the principal, and actually another teacher, as she mentioned, Miss Mary Davis, told her that pursue it further because I wouldn't be telling you to pursue this matter if I hadn't seen this behavior out of this cafeteria worker myself. So Miss Gaddy goes and pursues the matter. She is calling at the school board. She spoke with, Miss Gillespie. She spoke with the principal, and they told her that the situation was being investigated and they would have some resolution for her. Now, the resolution was for saying that they told the cafeteria worker, who's a man, to put up his cell phone, but also the child is to eat lunch in the classroom by herself instead of going to the cafeteria with her peers. Now, the child has underwent therapy for this. She's unable to walk on campus without having anxiety attacks. She's experienced cutting issues. All of these things from this incident, which the parent is so concerned about, right? So the parent feels that she's not getting any appropriate resolution. So she sets up a meeting with the principal, Dr. Smith, whom I never met. Now, this is where it gets tricky or in violation of the parents' rights. So they set up a meeting for this Thursday. Now, if you saw my live that day, you saw what happened when I went to the meeting. Now, I went to the meeting with the mother and her husband. We're sitting in the lobby. The child has once again experienced anxiety from being at the school when this trauma takes place. They called Miss Brenda McClary out, I think her name is Brenda McClary, to console the child. She takes the child outside. Me and the two parents are sitting in the vestibule waiting outside of the office. Now, when we walk in there, we can see the principal making the announcements. It's testing time, so he's giving them encouragement. And after the announcement, he hangs up the intercom and he brings like 3 students. He calls 3 students who were sitting in the office to wherever they went to. Then he goes in the back. And so the meeting is at 8:15. I'm sitting in there. The secretary is allowing students to sign in. The door, if they have to buzz them in. So if the student doesn't get the door open in time, then they're struggling. So I have to say, hey, ma'am, she didn't get in. The students can't open the door. I open the door for them. Everything is going well, right? I'm there to advocate for the parent. Then at about 8:25, the parent tells the secretary, listen, the meeting is supposed to happen at 8:30, 8:15. It's 10 minutes late. I feel like y'all are once again giving me the runaround. Mind you, they had supposed to have a meeting for the day prior. They got there and Dr. Smith said he was too busy to meet with them. Nevertheless, we're sitting and waiting after that, and then the sheriff walks in. The sheriff walks in and he goes into the office. We're sitting in the vestibule. He goes into the office and the parent looks at me and said, well, I've never seen him before here. And I was like, I'm not thinking nothing of it. I'm still, interacting with kids as they come in. And so the sheriff goes and talks to some people. Now, in hindsight, I'm starting to see people come out from the back of the office, people peeking out. And, this is in hindsight. I realize because, once again, I'm not thinking nothing of it. So the sheriff comes in and comes out of the office and approaches me. And he says, are you Mr. Taylor? I said, yeah. He said, you have to leave the premises. So I just laughed, grabbed my little notebook, walk out the door. And walking out the door, and I can tell he didn't want to do it. He was like, it seems you've been trespassed. And I'm like, trespassed? I've never been asked to leave that building. I've never caused any scene at the building. So, but I know where it stems from is, of course, my videos about the school system, Dr. Whichard, and, some of the other school board members. Now I walk away, and once again, I walk away, I do the live and everything. The parent says 5 minutes after they tell me to leave, they bring in the principal, not even the principal. I think the principal comes out and said, okay, I can't be with you today. We're gonna have a meeting Monday at the superintendent's office, which is today. And of course, I have to say it, they send that day at the school, while I'm doing it live, here comes Dr. Carol Artis, which is, I think, Miss Hayes' daughter, which I love Miss Hayes, and some other guy, and they're coming to kind of gatekeep or placate the family. You know, the family's mad, and Miss Carol just sitting there looking at the lady Vin, and she says, well, you know, what I suggest you do is just to take her home and love on her, and bring her back Monday, or whatever the case may be. You know, once again, I know the routine. You know, they send her out to kind of be the gatekeeper. So we leave. I get some calls about it, and they tell me, well, they can't deny a parent's right to have someone to advocate for them in a school meeting. Now, once again, I've never been asked to leave any building. They denied my application to volunteer because of my videos, of course, but I've never caused any disturbance at the school. So once again, I would ask you, why wouldn't I be allowed to attend a meeting with the school? I'm not out there volunteering. I'm there in support of a friend or family member or a community member. Nevertheless, we come to today. And as you see the video, and I'm going to break down the details of the video with you, but when we're going in, I'm actually talking to an assistant principal in another county. And he's telling me, yeah, they had no right to tell you to leave. If the parent requests that you're there, they're actually in violation of, the policy, school policy. And as we were walking in, you see Miss Rachel Radford, who was escorted out for voicing her opinion. She's telling me the same thing. She said, no, if a parent requests you to be there, they have no right to tell you that you can't participate in the meeting. So here we are today, and we walk in, Miss Radford, the mother of the child, her mother, and the grandmother, and we're all there. And we're once again they're hoping to find some sort of resolution. And so we wait, and then Miss Gillespie, whom you see, comes out. Now I'm gonna play the video again so y'all can kind of see where, this kind of goes wrong, right? This is the video. Now mind you, before we even start taping, they've already told Miss Gaddy that your parents or your grandmother can't come in the meeting. And she's expressing some opposition, like, I want them for support. And then Dr. Whichard said, well, the meeting was set up with you and Miss Gillespie. And so unless you don't want to have this meeting, none of them can come. And at the start of the video, you will see the grandmother pretty much asking why.
I trust you on everything, but where I be working.
See, right there is when everybody's quiet, because he just told her that you can either have the meeting with these people by yourself or don't have a meeting at all. So all of that while she's looking around thinking about what to do. Now,
There can't be another man in the office which the family knows what's going on.
so there you see the grandmother asking. So there can't be another family member there to make sure that we know what's going on. And he just interrupts. I believe that this meeting will resolve whatever problem there is.
I believe this meeting will resolve
Once again, that is that mentality that he's shown over the years, and you're going to see it soon with Miss Radford.
Write a whole big story. Just write it down. And then it'll be okay, right?
And you said that
You'll get a response email.
It's up to you what you
What you want to do. And Dr. Smith is here as well.
And there you see Mrs. Gillespie saying, look, the parent is still wondering, should I attend this meeting by myself? But here go Miss Gillespie saying, well, look, it's up to you. You can do what you want to do. And Dr. Smith is in there too. Once again, so if there's two people there, why can't this parent have support? That is that double team aspect, that good cop, bad cop thing that they do in interrogation rooms. But, and that Mr. Whichard is just standing there, stone faced.
We do it like that, okay? And then see.
My meeting,
Okay, and that email will show everything. All your responsibilities. All right?
So I can't go with my
So you'll be good to go.
And there, once again, the mother is asking, look, so I can't go with my daughter. Once again, that Miss Gaddy is already under, traumatic pressure, mental distress of that. So why wouldn't you allow her support, even from her mother? Not even me. I'm not even saying nothing, right? But her mother and her grandmother were denied access to this meeting, which, if I'm not mistaken, is against the law.
Like I said, you're not gonna get a letter until okay? So the board has to approve all transfers.
And there he goes again. Well, the meeting is with these people. And I believe the mom will adequately be able to express anything. How do you know? Like, who makes you the sole authority? If you notice both of his statements, well, I believe that this meeting will solve both problems. Well, I believe that the mother is adequate enough to... No, you don't know that. But, that's crazy. That's crazy. I believe that the mother, no, she's under distress. She wants her mother. What is the problem with her? And then, of course, you see the sheriff right there in the corner, which he's finna sick the dog on Miss Radford. Watch him.
If you go out there and anything that you don't like.
I would record everything if I were you. If you're going alone, I would record.
Now, so that's the mother. The mother says, listen, if they say anything that you don't like or you feel uncomfortable with, come on out of there. Then you hear Miss Radford chime in. I would have recorded and watched Dr. Whichard's response.
that's twice I'm gonna ask you to be quiet. We won't get.
That's twice I'm going to ask you to be quiet. Why can't she advise this lady that whom she come here to support? Who are you? That's twice I've asked you to be quiet. Now, Miss Radford rightfully asks, can I not advocate for the parent?
I'm not allowed to speak to the parent.
You've asked her to step out, please. That's the third time.
I'm being asked to leave because
She asked him, after he told her to be quiet, he was like, look, I'm not allowed to speak up for this parent. And what does he do? Sheriff, please ask him to leave. Now what? And this is once again like how he tries to run things, but unfortunately, he can't do that with everybody. But here is the result of him seeking the sheriff on Miss Radford. She's not going out quietly, by the way.
advise the parent to record this meeting.
Thank
Thank you. I appreciate you denying her her rights and denying me my rights to help her.
And so there you see them escorting Miss Radford out of the building, the sheriff following her. And as Miss Radford is leaving the building, they're maneuvering Miss Gaddy back to this solitary meeting without the support of her grandmother and her mother. Now, this is the part where that gets me. Like, this guy don't like me, but I'm not going anywhere, Lord willing.
What's your name?
We'll be right down this hall.
Yeah, I appreciate it.
Now, he said he tells the parents, I appreciate it. Now, watch what he says to me.
Mr. Taylor, I'd like you to sit down as well, please.
Sit down.
Yes, sir.
Okay. You're welcome.
Now, that's great. You hear what he said to me, Mr. Taylor? I'd like for you to sit down as well. Why? Like, what did I do? That is that authoritative, I run New York type of attitude that this guy has. And I'm just laughing. I stepped away from his view. But trust me, I did not sit down. And so we're in there, me, the mother, the grandmother, and we're discussing the situation, how they did not want anybody else in there with their daughter. The meeting lasted for about 30 minutes. I think we got out of there about 8:45, 8:50. But there was pretty much no resolution. I might play the call of the meeting because the mother did record it. But the insensitive nature of Dr. Whichard, who would immediately call the police, on this advocate who is trying to advise this parent, and also tell me to sit down, which I didn't do, of course. But I was told to call the Department of Public Instruction about this matter, because once again they're waiting. Like the school year is almost out. I think they have testing today and tomorrow, so they're going to be out of school soon. So this matter is going to be brushed in the word. Now also I was speaking to a friend of mine who's an assistant principal. He said, well, what grade is she in? 5th grade. So of course she's not going to be at the school next year, so what they're doing is trying to make it basically go away. But the mother, as she stated in the meeting, she's not worried about only her child. What about other children who this man may be possibly looking at in a manner? So I was told that the parent is not is able to have anyone that she wants at these meetings. So if this is true, Dr. Whichard's insistence or outright denial of this mother's mother and her grandmother to attend the meeting is definitely in violation of the statute. So we're gonna I've called the Department of Public Instruction, and we're gonna see what they have to say about this matter. But this video just speaks volumes of the insensitive nature, and the parents talked about how even when he came out, he didn't speak, he didn't greet him, he didn't do any of those things that you would expect someone in his position to do. And he just immediately said, okay, y'all can't attend this meeting. And I hate to say it, but my black sisters are basically part of the issue. It's easy for them to say, look, Dr. Whichard, I think it will be fine. I think it will be good for these. But, and I even asked the mother to ask Dr. Artist when she come back by, is that right for him not to allow him? But of course, she is the one. Oftentimes, I have to be honest, they send black people to gatekeep or placate other black people. You know what I'm saying? That's what they did to us at the school that day. The mother was upset that she couldn't meet with the principal. Like, how did those people get to the school that fast? How did the police get to the school that fast? Because once again, and Dr. Smith or whoever was in that office, y'all saw me just sitting out there laughing, in good spirit. So y'all didn't have to do that, like I said before. But that's that gatekeeper mentality that oftentimes people in positions feel that they have to do to keep their positions. But this matter is probably not going to go away, but it's also they're probably going to not try to do anything about it. I'm going to keep you informed. I'll do another video playing the meeting and seeing how they're just pretty much listening to her event, and they're saying, okay, well, the investigation ended on May the 10th. But afterwards, the principal was telling her that the investigation is still going on. So that is the bait and switch type deal that they also do. But this video is very telling. Hopefully, someone will be able to give me some clarification on whether or not a parent is allowed to have someone in the meetings with them, and if they are denied that right, is it a violation of their educational or even civil rights? But 919-587-7782, y'all tell me what y'all think, and we can help get this mother the proper recourse for this situation. But thank y'all for tuning in. Peace and blessings. Y'all have a blessed day.